Welcome to Cliff Keen Arena here tonight from WCBN radio station. I'm Matthew Levy alongside Nabeel Baig. We should have a fun one tonight. It's Michigan, it's Penn State, number 15 Penn State coming in to this one at 17-7, 10-4 in the conference. They've been really good so far, while Michigan's at 14-9, 7-7. The last time these two teams met, it was about a week ago, and they lost Michigan in a very close matchup. They won that first set, but they still lost 3-1. Tonight, it's the annual pink match for Michigan and Penn State, so it should be a lot of fun. Some history notes about these two teams. Last win for Michigan versus Penn State was in 2016, and all-time they only have 5 wins against Penn State. They're trying to make it 6 tonight, as we are just about ready to start. Starting lineups were just announced. Let's give you a little recap of that. Number 1 for Penn State, Adiana Rollins, Erica Pritchard, Jody Parker, Gabby Blossom, Jenna Hampton, Allie Holland, and Caitlin Horde. And then for Michigan, we've got Paige Jones, Scottie Johnson, Jess Merzick, Hannah Grant, Jess Robinson, May Pertovsky, ending it off. So it should be a lot of fun. Michigan, Penn State, first of 2 at home. I know, Nabeel, you'll be on the next one tomorrow night, as we get a little Friday, Saturday doubleheader.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited to see what happens. Tomorrow should be a fun one, but not entirely sure what's going to happen today, because Penn State is the better team, so we'll see how that goes.
So Kendall Murray is actually making the start for Michigan as well. So we are just about set. Blossom will serve it away, and we are underway from Cliff Keen Arena. The set up, and a hit by Johnson, recovered, and then a nice shot from the Penn State side, and recovered by Michigan. That one is turned over by Merzick, and then across. Good shot from Blossom, and then across to Johnson, and the spike there. Good block again, so a good rally to start, and another job, and a good shot right there from Caitlin Horde. She's the middle blocker, and a really good job to get Penn State on the board with their first point. The server, Gabby Blossom. She is a senior from Tampa Bay, Florida. Here we go. Serve. Good dig by Merzick. Up to Jones. Good spike for her. The first spike of the day. Paige Jones, the senior everyone loves. She's been here for such a long time, and she tried to throw it over the blockers of Penn State. That did not work as it hits the net, and a 2-0 start for Penn State. Here is Blossom. Serves it over. Good dig by Merzick. Up and across Johnson, and then that one is hit off. So good. It deflected off a Penn State defender, and that will mean Michigan's first point of the day. So the libero will start Hannah Grant. She will be the first service woman for the Wolverines as they trail 2-1. Good serve, and that one tried to play it by Hurd. Up across Murray, and good kill by Kendall Murray, the hometown native from Ann Arbor, Michigan, tying the game up for the Wolverines. Here's Grant once again. Nice serve. Played, and good job by Hurd. Rebounding it back across Thompson. Oh, good block. What a block by Jackie Boney. Coming in today in the starting lineup. Not usually a starter, but a nice start for her as Michigan's got their first lead of the set, up 3-2. The serve by Grant. Good dig by Rollins. She will try to go cross court. That doesn't work. So Michigan with an early 4-2 lead. Bonnie, excuse me for that. That one set up, and a good shot from Penn State. That was Joni Parker, the senior from Castdown, Ohio. And this Penn State team, they love to rotate their players. They're very talented, and that's why they're the number 15th ranked team in the country, and that program's just been so good. After that, Rollins missed that serve as I say that. So it is Michigan up 5-3 to start. Now serving for the Wolverines, Kendall Murray. She is from Ann Arbor, Michigan, as mentioned earlier, the opposite hitter, 6'2", sophomore.
On back.
Good serve, played across. Good return on Hurd's spike, and Paige Jones tries to go for the kill. Good save by Grant, up to Jones, deflected off the hands of Pritchard, and then spiked. Oh, what a spike by Rollins. She came in there in a hurry, and she put a beautiful kill for the Nittany Lions.
Yeah, and Hannah Grant ran real far, almost into the crowd over there. But so far, I mean, Michigan's playing really well.
So here's the serve once again. Nice dig from Grant, up to Johnson, across to Jones. Good block from the Nittany Lions. That was Joni Parker to tie this set at 5. As Caitlin Hurd will go back to serve, the senior 6'4" from Lexington, Kentucky. And Paige Jones so far getting 2 blockers on her, as she has not had a kill yet. Here's the serve from Hurd, and that goes into the net. So Penn State with 2 missed serves. That gives Michigan 2 out of their 6 points to start. So here is the highly touted senior from New Bremen, Ohio, Paige Jones to serve. Good serve in the back. Good rotation and a good block. Great block from Merzick to give Michigan a 7-5 lead. Good early start. We saw this in the first time they met. Michigan won that first set versus Penn State, and a good early lead, up 7-5. Here is Paige Jones. Good serve once again. Deep. Rollins plays it across, and the good dig from Grant on that one as Blossom tried to get it over the blockers, and then another good dig by Blaine again. Johnson across. Here's a good shot. Penn State trying to get over it, and she does. That was Joni Parker once again. She got it over the fingertips of the Michigan blocker to cut the lead to 1. Good serve once again. Johnson across. Murray with the good kill there. Good block from Penn State. And that one across. Good job, Erica Pritchard, getting in on the action to tie the game. Oh, good play from Penn State once again as they take another lead. So it's back and forth early in this first set. And here's Joni Parker.
Yeah, both Michigan and Penn State are playing really well to start this game. But so far, Michigan kind of losing it in these last 4 points.
Johnson, Jones just outside, so Penn State takes a 2-point lead early.
Yeah, and I do believe that's a 4-0 run for Penn State.
Yeah, so it was just 7-5 in a blink of an eye. This is what this Penn State team does. They are resilient in a number of different ways, and they have a 4-0 lead right now as Merzick was trying to end that. Good block again. Blossom across. Oh. Really good shot from Pritchard once again. Another kill for her, and Penn State's got a 10-7 early lead.
Great play by Erica Pritchard coming off that left side. Easily able to make a kill.
So here is Joni Parker.
And she's rattled off some great serves.
Yeah, good. Good job by Murray. Across, Merzick for the kill. Oh. Great shot. Trying to keep it alive was Holland, but Michigan stops that 5-0 run with their first point. to get it to 10-8.
Yeah, great attempt there by Jenna Hampton, trying to kind of dig and slide underneath the ball, but here comes SS Brooke Humphrey, my favorite player. She just sails right in. It's a packed house here, by the way, in Cliff Keene.
Really
not,
good.
Not really not always this packed.
Yeah, really good environment for this annual pink matchup, as trying to dive for it was Jones. Just a little late. So Penn State's got an 11-8 lead to start.
Yeah. This is not a lineup you see often from Mark Rosen, putting Kendall Murray and Jess Robinson at the same time and taking out Bonnie. So we'll see how this fares for Michigan.
Good serve. Johnson met at the net by Holland, and a good job by Grant, but we've got a whistle. I think she touched the net.
Yeah.
So that will be Penn State's point.
Yeah. And Penn State's now on a 7-1 run. They've really taken over in this first set as we reach the midway point, 12-8 now. So
let's see how Michigan can respond. The Wolverines, led by Mark Rosen and associate head coach Lisa Rosen, both in their 23rd year at the helm.
Married.
Yeah.
Pretty
cool.
As long as they've been running.
The set, Johnson, Jones, that's in.
Right
Good point and a good kill from Paige Jones.
Beautiful play by Paige Jones. She's had a rough year, I will say. By her standards, she knows she can play really well, and she's essentially a star on this team. But she's had a tough go these past couple months in this season, so we'll look to see whether she can pick that up.
Good serve, returned. Thompson across. Good job by Paige Jones digging that one out. Grant across. Merzlik. No. Good block again. Let's run it up for Penn State as Paige Jones trying to grab that one, but what a shot from Joni Parker. These Penn State girls, they hit the ball hard, and it comes right at these Michigan defenders.
The velocity that they get on each of their kills is unreal. You can't experience it like you can experience it in person. On TV, it just looks, oh, that looks normal, but in person, you really feel like that could hurt.
Yep, and here's Jenna Hampton. She'll serve Grant Johnson. Across. That's Murray, and good shot from Kendall Murray, finding the open areas in the Penn State defense, cutting the lead to 3. So if you're Michigan, how do you get a little 3-0 run cooking here to tie the set?
Yeah, you gotta pick and choose where you're hitting the ball. It looks like Michigan's hitting a lot of their points off of well-placed balls, and so you can't commit this team and expect to just out-hit them. You gotta be strategic with it as well.
Yeah, and Merzlik just served that right into the net. So that will give Penn State the ball right back. Here's Gabby Blossom.
Gabby Blossom with almost 1,000 assists on the year this year.
Unbelievable stat. And across to Jones, trying to find the open area. Good shot. Oh, Hurd. That was just such a great shot in the middle. So tough to defend because she can go to really all areas of the court.
Yeah, what a beautiful play by Horde. You'd expect her to go down the line, but she actually went to the left side there.
Yeah. So that's going to be a timeout from the Wolverines. So early in this set, Penn State leads 15-10, and what's been back and forth to start, and then Penn State really went on that 7-1 run to really take control early.
Yeah, Penn State shows why they're the number 15 seed in the nation. I mean, the Big Ten is such a stacked conference. And here is Michigan, who took them to 4 sets and 4 very close sets at Happy Valley almost a week ago, I believe. And so, Michigan definitely wants to come in and show that they're a capable team of beating a number 15 seed. And this will go a long way in their chances at making a good tournament run, which Mark Rosen wants. He's been waiting for 23 years now. So...
Yeah, so, and really building off of that and building off of that last game in which Michigan, even though it was 3-1, Nabeel, you talked about this. They really played them close. It was 25-22 in 3 of the 4 sets, 25-23 in the other. So it was not like a blowout from Penn State whatsoever. It was a very close game, and that's what Michigan really wants to do. And maybe a couple points go their way, and they can be victorious here at home.
No, for sure. I totally agree. But Michigan is going to need to have more lucky breaks. They haven't really gotten things so far this set. But Penn State's, you got to give credit to Penn State for that. And Penn State's hitting balls in places where Michigan just can't get to, and the spikes are really working in their favor.
So here's Blossom, Merzick across to Robinson. Good job by Penn State. Those blockers are so tough. And trying to go for the kill was Parker, but that was too far. So Michigan will cut the lead to 4.
Yeah, and the pink pom-poms are out in style today. We've talked about how it's a pink match. There's pink lines on the floor. There's a bunch of pink everywhere, pink socks by the Wolverine players, pink on all the coaches' outfits. So it's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, and this is for breast cancer awareness. And that one, trying to go over the blockers was Parker. Good job by the Wolverines, setting it up for Murray. That deflects off of a Penn State player. That's Strack. That's her first time in. And that one, trying to defend it was Murray. And that one just outside. So Penn State of the line. So Penn State will get that point.
Yeah, and volleyball is a game of runs, and so the amount of runs going for Penn State's way, it looks like maybe they'll have this first set easily, but Michigan can make a run like they have before.
Well, Merzick doesn't help that, and Grant will just have to toss it across. And, that was a really good effort from Grant. She tried to paint that line. I thought that was very close.
That was really, from up here, everything looks in, honestly.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, everything looks in from up here. But, you know, the referees are right there on the line, and they should have that. But great play by Scottie Johnson to get the ball back in the court.
Merzick struggling with those digs, and that will be another Penn State point as they'll take a 7-point lead up 18-11 early in this first set as Adana Rollins will serve. She is a senior from Carrollton, Texas. Went to Hebron High School. Good dig again by Merzick. And then across to Jones, and she put a lot of mustard on that one as Penn State couldn't handle that to cut the lead to 6.
Yeah. What a catch by the fan, too. But, no, I mean, a theme of this Michigan Wolverines team is kind of setting the ball too far and getting it right on the net. And that's been an issue, honestly, all year for these Wolverines. Sometimes the speed of the serve just comes and you can't handle it off your hand. Yep.
Good serve by Murray across. Blossom setting up Parker. Good dig from Merzick. So bouncing back after that one, and Paige Jones trying to go over with that. Penn State handles that cleanly. Hurd, good dig by Grant. Up Johnson, Jones for the slam, and again returned by Penn State, but right back to Michigan. They'll set it up once again. Johnson across, good shot by Merzick. Another good defense by Penn State, and then they'll get Erica Pritchard going, and that's just the testament. Michigan with a great point, but Penn State too strong in the end.
Yeah, Penn State's crazy out there. They're defending incredibly well against some really, really, really strong kills by Jess Merzick and Paige Jones. I mean, those are not easy to defend in the slightest, but they're handling Michigan here late in this first set.
So here's Horde on the serve. Murray, Johnson, across. Good shot from Bonnie. Really good shot from Jackie Bonnie.
Yeah, great play by Jackie Bonnie. I mean, she found a seam that there was no Penn State defenders in her way. Easily able to make that kill.
And that's a freshman making that move, so a very smart play.
A very strong player for a freshman coming off the bench.
Yeah. Jones, good serve. Cross, Blossom setting up Parker right over the defenders. Grant handles it. Johnson across. Good block again by Parker as Merzick just tried to go right for it. Penn State was right there, and now they have a 7-point lead.
Yeah, great block by Penn State, but Michigan didn't have anyone cleaning up. They usually have someone right there in case that ball gets batted back down, but they looked a little bit inconsistent with their schematics on the floor.
So here's the serve, and that one just out. Good job by Kendall Murray, recognizing it's going to go out, and that's a free point for the Wolverines.
Yep.
You talked about that, Nabeel. How do they get those free points? How do they get those lucky breaks? That's an example of one.
Great play by Kendall Murray and Paige Jones. Paige Jones was right in the line, and she knew the ball was coming to her, and she knew that if she let it go, it would go. So she screamed out, and Kendall Murray heard her, and they let the ball fly past them.
So here is the serving specialist, Brooke Humphrey. Good serve. And the cross as, Jess Robinson put her hand a little bit over the net, and that's going to be a Penn State point.
That was a little bit of a misplay by Jess Robinson. She didn't need to do that. I might have been more advantageous, obviously, which is why it's a foul call.
Yeah.
She definitely didn't need to. The ball didn't look like it was going to make it back over. So
here's the serve from Penn State. Handled. Johnson across. Robinson, good block from Penn State. If it plays off the ceiling, it's still in. And then trying to go for the kill was Rollins. That goes out, and Michigan cuts the lead to 6.
Yeah.
As
players
those
still in off the ceiling here.
Yeah.
It's an old stadium, so the ceiling can only go so high. I actually saw a layer of dust just fly off from that ceiling. Probably been here since the 80s.
So here
but
is
great play by Penn State to try to get that ball back in play. It's still
it seems like they get to every ball.
Yeah.
So here's Scottie Johnson. She is the main setter for the Wolverines. Setting it up, and a good shot by Rollins. Good block from Grant. Here's Blossom across for the slam. Oh, good job. Trying to keep it alive was Johnson. Now Michigan will just have to lightly play it over. They'll set it up again. Hampton across. Blossom to Rollins. Deflects off a Michigan player, and that one will land out. So another Penn State point as they lead by 7.
That was incredibly impressive to get it over the duo of May Pertowski and Jess Robinson. Both 6'1" players. 6'2", actually, excuse me, for Jess Robinson. But both really strong and tall players in the net, and she was able to get the ball over and get a tip-off of Jess Robinson, and the ball lands out on Michigan's side, meaning Penn State point.
So here is a new player coming on for Penn State, Cassie Coercion, the freshman, coming on for the serve, and Scottie Johnson across. Merzlik, slam, good block once again, and that will be another. Oh, that's going to go Michigan side, so that landed out. So Michigan cuts the lead to 6.
Yeah, a little bit of a misplay there by Cassie coming in for 1 point, but it's good to get experience if you're a freshman, and especially if she's good at serving, which she is. Incredible job by her.
So here's Merzlik, not her best performance to this point. She missed a serve earlier, and that was a miscommunication from Angelina Stark as she let that go. Michigan gets another point, so the lead is cut to 5.
Yeah, we love a service ace here in Cliff Keen. Doesn't happen often, but,
Any free point you can get for the Wolverines would prove to be helpful here as they trail by 5 with 3 points away from a Penn State first set victory as we go to 25. Good serve from Merzlik once again. Rollins across, slam, Parker, played by Johnson. Grant across, Jones, yes! Oh, good shot from Paige Jones. Lead has been cut to 4, so now things start to get a little bit interesting.
Yeah, game of runs is volleyball, so Michigan making a good run here late. 3 straight points off Jess Merzlik's serve.
And with a packed house, maybe that can help on the road. It's so tough when momentum gets on the home team side as Merzlik's good serve, played by Blossom, across by Hurd. Oh, good dig from Grant and across. Merzlik, good return. Penn State will set up once again. Blossom across to Rollins.
Nice block.
Good block. Jess Robinson. What a play by her and Pertowski. They're feeling it, and Michigan has now cut this lead to 3.
Yeah, and they're playing really well.
Timeout,
really
Penn State.
Yeah, last 4 points, they're playing really well here. And Penn State wants to kind of slow it down, stop the bleeding a little bit. They have the lead still, but 3 points is not much when you're making a run in volleyball and you have the momentum on your side. So we'll see how things shake out for this first set. I did say that I felt Michigan would lose this first set, but here we are where it's very close again.
You're down by 3. Good timeout from Penn State head coach Russ Rose, his 42nd season. Can you believe that? And assisted by Hohenschelt and Schumacher Cawley, both in their 4th years. So Russ Rose, he's a veteran. He knows what's going on, and he stops the game as with about 30 seconds left in this timeout. Michigan up and down to start, inconsistent, Nabeel, as you mentioned. And now Michigan has cut the lead to 3 thanks to a little 4-0 spurt. And that was a great block from Jess Robinson, May Pertowski, trying to get things going for the Wolverines, getting that crowd in it. It's been largely quiet so far in this packed house for the Wolverines with the annual pink game versus Penn State this season. And Jess Merzlik will continue to serve as Michigan trails by 3, 22-19. Fun one early. Penn State, number 15, Michigan, trying to get back to the NCAA tournament. Here's Pertowski. Here's Merzlik. Good serve. That's going to bounce in front of Rollins. So another technically ace, and now Michigan has cut the lead to 2.
And that is absolutely what Penn State does not want to see coming out of a timeout. A service ace, an easy point. And Michigan's within 2 now. So
Yeah, and now another interesting move from Penn State. They bring in Annie Kate Fitzpatrick, the sophomore, for Adana Rollins. So maybe a little coaching move from Russ Rose. Merzik serve, good serve, played well, and what a play. That's a captain's move right there from Gabby Blossom. Recognizing open space, instead of setting it to her teammate, she goes straight for the kill.
yeah, those off speed will kill you there for if you're Michigan, if you're expecting that ball to be a kill. But a nice tap over sometimes does wonders.
Blossom the serve across Johnson. Jones, good job from Jones, and she gets it, and you can see Hannah Grant, the emotion from this Michigan team. They know they're close. They know, yeah, maybe Penn State's better, but with the home crowd, you got to use emotion in this game. And the redshirt sophomore and Hannah Grant showing some as Michigan trails by 2. She will serve. Grant serve. Good serve. Blossom across. Hurd. Blocked by the Wolverines. It was Pertovsky in there with Paige Jones. Lead is cut to 1.
What a block by Michigan. What a block by Michigan. Michigan's on a 9-3 run here as coming down these last few points.
So Rollins will check back in for Kate Fitzpatrick, so maybe a little temporary switch. So here's Hannah Grant with Michigan, a chance to tie.
Yep.
Good serve from Grant. Blossom across. Parker blocked by the Wolverines. What a play from May Pertovsky. She's been so good blocking the volleyball, and now we're tied at 23. What a set.
Yeah, May Pertovsky coming huge in this first set. She's coming off an injury a few weeks ago on her left ankle, and she looked like she was really hurting that game, but she's come back in this game, and she's come back these past 2 weeks looking stronger than ever, honestly. Maybe the ankle brace is what she needed to really jump higher than the rest of the competition, but no, she's playing incredibly well, and she deserves all the praise that comes with the blocking. A massive point here late in this first set, 23-23 now.
As Penn State will call their second timeout,
Yeah.
just to give viewers on why we're in a break in the action. And Nabeel, I know you called this out. I think it was 2013 you said we're out, and Michigan's not supposed to win the set. What have you seen from the Wolverines to really get back in this?
Yeah, Michigan is playing with more emphasis on the offensive side. Early on in the first set, they were looking like they wanted to play more defense and kind of handle what Penn State was giving them. But now Michigan's really giving it to Penn State on the offensive side, and Penn State defense can't handle like they were earlier. And maybe that's part. It's honestly, Mark Rosen calls timeouts in such a beautiful place. That's one of the best things he does, I think. He's able to call a timeout and really change the dynamic of a set with that timeout. Ever since that timeout that Mark Rosen called, Michigan's been on a great run of their own. So you have to give him some credit for that. Maybe he's changed some of the schematics on the floor. He hasn't put Jess Robinson in or Kendall Murray. He's taken her out. And so maybe that's been helping by having Jackie Bonnie, May Pertovsky, and Paige Jones in the front.
Yeah.
So, it's a lot of underrated stuff from coaching.
Yeah. So there's Grant, 23 apiece. Here's the set across to Parker. Good return from Grant. A chance for the Wolverines. Across, deflected, and a good job by Hampton. Across, Purd trying to block it. Oh, it stays alive. And Blossom sends it across. Parker again. Set from Grant. Across, Johnson. Up to Merzik. Oh, good dig from Penn State. Parker trying to find the open space. Paige Jones does a good job across. Here is a nice serve from Pertovsky. That doesn't hold on. And then, what a shot from Penn State. That was Angelina Stark finding over the blockers. And now Penn State.
What a play by Angelina Stark.
Wow.
3 Michigan players were ready to block that kill attempt, and she was able to float it over them. Penn State now has a set point.
So set point. Here's Adana Rollins, a chance to give Penn State a 1-0 lead. Handled by Merzik. Across to Jones. That one, good dig. Again from Penn State. Up to Parker. Oh, what a job. Oh, wow. That was terrific. Scottie Johnson made a great play to save it, and then across. And I think that was Paige Jones with the spike. And Michigan has tied it at 24. Wow.
Yeah, great play by Scottie Johnson, an underrated passer in this Big Ten. One of the best consistent players here at Michigan. And she made a beautiful pass there, and Paige Jones just kind of took it from the air and made a great play. Really risky play, but paid off for Paige Jones.
Here's Kendall Murray, a chance to take the lead. Again, it is win by 2 at 24 apiece. Good dig, and Grant trying to save it, but a good job by Penn State. Ultra consistent. That was Erica Pritchard and Gabby Blossom combining on that one.
Yeah, good play there by Jess Murray trying to get the ball up, but I don't believe Hannah Grant was ready to receive it right as quick as it did. So here we are, 25-24, Penn State with their second set point.
And here's Maddie Belinovich. She hasn't played all set. Now she's serving for the set.
Yeah.
Interesting. From Penn State, they love to mix it up. Grant handles it across. A good block from Penn State, but Michigan will restart things. Johnson across to Jones, and she makes a costly error, and Penn State will win the set. You can't do that as a senior. And you talked about it with Paige Jones' struggles so far. That was an example of it. And now Penn State with a 1-0 lead to end set number 1.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a tough break there for Paige Jones. It looked like she tried to go off speed, just kind of didn't have enough on it, and it lands in the net. But Michigan did come back, as they have many times before this season. They often do come back in games, and they're able to try to make games interesting, even if they're down by 7, 8, 9 points in a set. So Michigan has a lot of stuff that they can take into the next few sets, whether it be 3, 4, or 5. But there's a lot to like about what Michigan did in the latter half of that first set. Now, the first part of that first set was a little bit tough. They got in too deep of a hole to come back, but you know, it's the momentum is still there for Michigan if they want to take it. So
yeah, and I thought they did a beautiful job at the end of the set, just really battling, and that's what a team does. You're down 7 to a 15th ranked Penn State team that you've really struggled against. Only won 5 times in your history. You could hefty velocity, high velocity kills or attempted kills, but a good job from the Nittany Lions to really, they showed that they were the stronger team. Good battle from Michigan. There's a lot you like out of what Michigan just did in that first set.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, these 3-minute halves, I'll call them, like, you know, the breaks in between, they really give time for the teams to kind of compose themselves and get ready to play another set of volleyball. You scored 24 points in that first set, but you didn't end up with a first set victory. So 24 points are kind of wasted in a sense, but the experience of playing those 24 points are not wasted. Like, you played 50 points against a number 15 ranked team in the league, and you won almost half. So there's a lot to like, and there's a lot that could get better in the second set. So it's kind of reminiscent to that game against Penn State at Happy Valley a couple weeks ago, where the first set was really tight and the next 3 sets followed. So we'll see if Michigan can kind of come back and sort of take a set here.
Yeah, and it was just a costly mistake from Paige Jones at the end, hitting it into the net.
Unfortunate.
Unfortunate mistake. But she had a good set overall, I thought. Paige Jones, Merzick kind of bounced back. She was a little shaky in digs and trying to defend these Penn State high velo kills. And then she bounced back beautifully. Once again, the sophomore from Livonia, Michigan. I know you love your hometowns, Nabeel.
I do. Livonia, Michigan is actually very close to where I live, so Jess Merzick played on Mercy High School, which is an all-girls high school. So she definitely did really well there. She was like Gatorade Player of the Year in high school for for volleyball. She was a massive recruit for Mark Rosen-Baguette, as Michigan is the best team in volleyball in the state of Michigan. So I'm pretty sure she didn't want to leave home too far, you know. So it was a great get for Michigan, and she's played really well so far. She's only a sophomore. She had a full freshman year last year during COVID, nonetheless, but still came and played, started right away for the Michigan squad.
Yeah, just to comment about this crowd, it's such a difference. I was here the last volleyball game I called. It was an empty arena, not that much energy, and just with its sellout crowd tonight, it's just really nice to see, even though you're required to wear a mask.
Yeah, you still are.
Of course, that's what you got to do with what's going on right now. Is Rollins with a good start to the set, a little kill, to give Penn State a 1-0 lead. Here's Adana Rollins. Good serve, handled by Merzik. Across Johnson. Oh, good shot by, that was Pertovsky. She threw off my eyesight. We're trying to look across to, I think that was Pertovsky looking across. Instead of Pertovsky, it was going to be, I think it was Scottie Johnson setting it to the other side, but they eventually came back to Pertovsky. So a good job from Michigan to tie this early. Grant, the server, played by Rollins to Blossom, across to Parker. Trying to block it was Bonnie, and she did a nice job as Paige Jones sends it across. Played by Hampton. Parker trying to, oh, good dig from Merzik. Johnson across, trying to find Paige Jones. She just gets it over the net. Blossom setting it up. Hurd, that's been money for Penn State. That middle of the floor, which she can look to all four sides or all four corners. She finds the open space and gives Penn State a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, Caitlin Horde, the tallest player on this Penn State squad, at 6'4". She makes her presence felt.
Yeah, she really does, and she will serve. As a good return from Merzik. Across was Pertovsky, handled by Rollins. Up to Parker, good dig from Grant. Johnson, and that's going to be, I think Johnson hit the net on that set, so that will be a Penn State point, up 3-1.
And that's her second net violation of the night. Not sure what that means, but, you know, maybe she's just a little bit too far right there in the front of the Michigan court.
Here's a serve from Hurd. That's out.
Oh.
That was just way right. And Hurd will check out for Jenna Hampton, the libero. And Michigan will cut the lead to 1. Down 3-2. First set went Penn State's way, 26-24. Michigan down 20-13, came all the way back and really did a nice job of getting back and cutting that lead. It was 23-all at one point, 24-all then. And then Penn State took over. Here's Kendall Murray. She did not see time at the end of that set 1. And that's a really good job. That was Allie Holland finding the open space right over the blocker. It feels like Penn State's had a nice adjustment to these blocks from Pertovsky. They're just going right over the top.
Yeah. And it's kind of starting off how they started off that first set, sorry. Very similar play style.
Good set across. Oh, good job. Trying to block it was a couple Penn State players like Pritchard and Holland, but ultimately Michigan pays off with that spike. So they'll now trail 4-3. And here's Paige Jones. A lot of eyes on her. Nabeel, you called her a star, and she had that disappointing miss in the net. Unfortunate, some may call and see. And another miss from Paige Jones as she hits that serve directly into the net. So you talked about her struggles. You can see it early, maybe just not herself early in the season.
Yeah, I mean, as we're getting to the later part of the season.
Middle.
So,
Even middle.
So but Paige Jones does have a very high risk, high reward type of serve. So, you know, sometimes it helps and sometimes it hurts, and that time it hurt for Michigan. But Michigan gets the point back off of Penn State miss on their own serve. So
yeah, Pritchard missed that one on the right side, close to the near side to us, and so Michigan will cut the lead to 1 once again. Here's Brooke Humphrey, the serving specialist, coming in for the Wolverines.
I love that Russ Rose, the Penn State coach, just kind of sits there and looks at his binder most of the game, like an old.
I mean, he's
coach.
been here for so long. His 42nd season. And that will be a point for Penn State as that deflected off to the left side and just out. So Bonnie and Humphrey are out as Robinson will check back in. Played by Murray, and that was just not a good defense off that serve from Angelina Stack. Oh, wait, Allie Holland, excuse me. So now Penn State, kind of similar to that first.
Easy service there for Penn State.
Kind of similar to that first set, as Penn State has a little 7-4 cushion so far. Here's the shot by Merzik that deflects off a Penn State player, and Michigan will gain a point to cut the lead to 2. It was actually 7-5 Michigan before Penn State went on their hefty run in that first set. It's now 7-5 Penn State, so maybe Michigan can go on that run.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Michigan's definitely keeping it close so far.
Yeah.
A little more back and forth.
So here's Scottie Johnson to serve, the great setter. And that one's just out, just off to the right, down the line. And now Penn State will take an 8-5 lead.
Yeah, that's a really unfortunate miss there. Scottie Johnson usually very, very consistent off her serve. I use the word unfortunate a lot because, you know, it's unfortunate, you know.
So here's Gabby Blossom. We've got a stoppage in play as the referee is over to the scorer's table to try to figure out something. As Penn State leads 8-5 early in the second set. If you're just joining us, Michigan lost the first set 26-24 after coming all the way back from 7 down. And now Michigan will huddle up. We're still waiting on the referee.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, talking about Russ Rose a little more, you have to be really, 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 really good to stay in stay in a league as a coach for 40 years.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter what sport, it doesn't matter. You have to consistently change with times enough to where you're keeping up with the Joneses, as you would say. You know, I mean, do I see Mark Rosen keeping his job for another 20 years? I really don't. I don't think so. So we'll have to see.
So here's Gabby Blossom to serve as we resume action. Penn State leads 8-5 here in the second set. Blossom, good serve. Paige Jones couldn't handle it. Went off to that left side. Pertovsky tried to chase it into the crowd, and Penn State will now take a 9-5 lead. Here's Blossom once again. Michigan trailing by 4. Good serve from Blossom. This time Paige Jones trying to handle it, and again, just too far for Scottie Johnson to get to. And now Penn State's got a 10-5 lead and a timeout from Coach Mark Rosen.
It's the one thing I get it. I get that Scottie Johnson's the setter. But Scottie Johnson ran 20 feet to try to get that ball when Mae Petrovsky was right there and could have, you know, dove herself 5 feet instead of 20 feet, you know? And I understand that you want Penn State, or you want Scottie Johnson to set the ball up, but at some point, someone else has got to set that ball. Otherwise, you're going to lose points like that.
See, at the stadium, just to interrupt you, there is a breast cancer moment for all the people fighting breast cancer to stand. So a little emotion in this crowd tonight. Just wanted to highlight that because it is the annual Pink Day. Just didn't address it earlier. It is really just for people and really raising awareness towards breast cancer, and it's really good to see that people that fought it off and a lot of emotion. You can really see it.
I have plenty of family members that have had breast cancer, and so it definitely is something that's near and dear to a lot of people's hearts. Because people have lost their battles too as well. I mean, as much as we talk about breast cancer awareness, we also talk about those who have lost their battles, not lost their battles, but have had to come to terms with losing someone to breast cancer. So
here's Blossom to serve. Grant trying to handle it across, and good shot by Pertovsky. She's really on today. As Rollins trying to go over the blockers. Merzik handles that. Across Johnson. Pertovsky again, another great defense from Penn State. And now Parker. And that's going to be Penn State. Oh, I think Jess Robinson hit the net once again. So now Penn State really asserting their dominance into the set.
Yeah, just a little tap there. A little tap there right by Jess Robinson. And I do think that the lineup that Michigan had and Mark Rosen had throughout their run was a really good lineup, but they have not used it since.
Yeah, very interesting. Pertovsky seemed like the best player on the floor, and she's out. Across to Murray, and she splits the defenders of Jess Hampton and Angelina Stark in that back right corner to give Michigan a point and cut the lead to 5, down 11-6.
Yeah, just Kendall Murray comes in for one play, gets one kill, then leaves, and Mae Petrovsky's back. I mean, maybe that's just something Mark Rosen knows that she can do. And we're 1 point away from 7-11.
So here's the serve. Nope, you jinxed it, Nabeel.
Oh,
You jinxed it.
As I really wanted that Slurpee.
A miss serve. So serving once again, she served to win the set, was Cassie Coercion. Trying to handle it was Merzick. Johnson goes to chase it. Good set to Jones. Oh, another good block from Penn State. Pritchard, good job by Merzick, trying to calm things down. Back to Jones, trying to toss it over. Keeping that win was Coercion. That was probably out. Now Michigan will reset. Johnson, cross, Robinson, into the net. Oh, played along by Penn State. It stays alive and it played off the net. And now Michigan has to do it again. Oh, what a block. Blossom across to Pritchard. Oh, what a point from the Nittany Lions.
That was absolutely incredible play. I mean, Jenna Hampton is a stunningly wonderful libero for Penn State. She's doing everything on the defensive side between getting, I think, 3 kills on that 1 point alone, defending 3 kills on that 1 point alone. So, yeah, Penn State really came to play the second set.
And just like that, Coercion hits into the net. She made a couple mistakes. As that ball, I think that was out.
Yeah.
Penn State could have won that earlier. Nonetheless,
those are freshman mistakes.
Yeah, freshman. She is a freshman. Coercion out of Knoxville, Tennessee. So an interesting recruit. Really, Penn State has really traveled all over the country to get these really good volleyball players. As Blossom tosses it across, as Pritchard. And that's going to be over the netting. Once again, another mistake from the Wolverines, giving Penn State a free point. That was out.
Yeah.
So now Penn State doubles the score up 14-7. And this was the deficit which Michigan came back. What does Mark Rosen have in store for his ball club? Merzick handles it to Grant. Up to Jones. Blocked away. Grant. Johnson. Up again to Jones. Handled again. Rollins. Blossom. Up. Parker trying to dig it through. Good job from Johnson. Up for Jones. And then deflected off again. What a job by Hampton. And then she trying to thread the needle. Johnson across. Jones again. Rollins handles that one. Blossom. Parker. Yes.
Oh. What a play.
What a game. That was Erica Pritchard. And she's been awesome.
They're playing incredibly, incredibly well. You can't say enough about this Penn State offense and especially the defensive efforts from Jenna Hampton.
This defense has been unbelievable, led by the libero Hampton. She serves it in. Good high velo serve, handled by Pertovsky, then Rollins. Rollins up, and that was blocked. Good shot from Pritchard, blocked away. Now there's a debate. Michigan thinks they touched it.
That was that was touched by Penn State.
Yeah.
He was right there. He knows, but you know he didn't see it, so he can't call it. So it's going to be a review. But it did hit off a Penn State player's leg before going out of bounds. The ball did land out of bounds on the Penn State side, and Lisa Rosen knows herself. But I think that should be a quick review here. But it's a big one, actually. 8-15 or 7-16. 7-16 is really hard to come back from.
Yeah, that's 2 more points on the first set. And you see the Penn State bench right now describing their mood. They're in a happy mood right now. They're up big here in the second set. After getting tested in that first one, Michigan volleyball team has been the king of comebacks.
Yeah.
Can they do it here? That's the question. And in this match, we're getting, I think the ref is at the scores table. I don't know if there's a timeout right now. Nabeel, can you explain?
Sorry, what? Explain?
What's going on right now? I don't think
they're having a review.
Okay, there is a review if they touch it.
Yeah, there's a review happening, and teams are allowed to huddle, so they're just kind of huddling currently on the court. But it's taking longer than I thought. It looked very clear to me that it hit off a Penn State leg. So maybe they just don't have the angle, and that's when it sucks. Cause especially when a game is not broadcast on like live TV with like 20 different angles you got. In volleyball, you kind of have a couple. So
I think we should be bringing in maybe a Mike Pereira
to
check out that call.
That guy's not the best rules expert. There are some better ones out there. I honestly really like John Perry.
ESPN.
He's real chill with it. He's always just like, yeah, that's not a foul. I don't know why they're calling it that. Or Terry McCauley's pretty good too. Gene Steratore is, he's fun. Gene Steratore actually did men's basketball, college basketball as well.
Yeah, I knew that.
That man got a Super Bowl and the Final Four in like the same week. Must have been like the biggest week of his life.
Unbelievable. And just a reminder for WCBN, we've got a couple broadcasts coming up. Women's soccer is currently on WCBN 1. We've also got football tomorrow. I know, Nabeel, you're calling this hockey game, this volleyball game versus Rutgers tomorrow from Cliff Keen Arena. I'll be at the Chrysler Center at 2 p.m. for women's basketball. Michigan playing St. Francis Brooklyn, which should be an interesting matchup as for Michigan's women's basketball. They're ranked 11 in the country, went to OT versus UPI. So we'll see how they bounce back. There.
And
Here we go.
Michigan did not win that review.
They did not, which is interesting. So I guess it wasn't, but Michigan nonetheless wins the point to cut the lead to 16-8 in this second set. Serving for the Wolverines will be May Pertovsky.
And Mark Rosen still letting the refs hear it. He is not happy at all. But, it's water under the bridge now.
Here's Bertovsky. Good job by Rollins. Played by Hampton. Across to Pritchard. Good rebound. Grant. Johnson up. Good backward set. And a good spike from Bonnie to cut the lead to 16-9.
Yeah. And this Michigan crowd is really cheering their players on. They really want them to get back in this game. Every single fan that's in the stands does not want to see a 3-0 loss. They'd much rather see a 3-1 victory.
Here's the serve by Pertovsky. Up and a great set. Oh my goodness, that was Allie Holland in the middle. And they've killed Michigan from that middle spot.
Mark Rosen surprisingly has not called another timeout. Usually at this point in the game, at this point in the set, he calls timeout unless he believes the set to be lost, which I don't believe he thinks that.
Here's Johnson across. Good job, Paige Jones. As she gets a little pep in her step as Michigan trails by 7. She'll serve. The senior with all the accolades.
Does have a lot of accolades.
Here's the serve. Clean, Rollins, Blossom, Pritchard, blocked, but a good job. That block went out on that right side. So now Penn State will get another point up, 18-10. So if you're just joining us, Michigan, not a great start to that first set. Really came all the way back. Tied it at 24, 23, and then 24, but Penn State ultimately won. And now in the second set, they've kind of fell flat, down 8, trying to get back into it. As that now slams. Wow. That was a great slam from Scottie Johnson. We haven't seen that from her a lot, as Jess Robinson will check back in with Brooke Humphrey for Grant and for Bonnie. So Brooke Humphrey, the serving specialist. Michigan down 7. Can they go on a little bit of
I
run?
always say the SS Brooke Humphrey sails in for a couple points and leaves.
You need a couple aces from her right now to get Michigan right back where they want to be. Humphrey hits off the net. Rollins, Blossom across. Trying to block it. Trying to block Holland's shot was Robinson, but that just fell flat. No one was there. And now Penn State leads by 8. Here's Holland to serve. Penn State in firm control of this second set, already up 1-0 in sets. Holland's serve is low. Trying to play it was Johnson. That one helped across. Now Grant just has to put it over. Blossom across. Rollins, what a shot from Rollins. The outside hitter, the senior from Carrollton, Texas, coming through in the clutch with that shot to raise the lead to 9, 20-11. Timeout, Wolverines.
There he is. There's the Mark Rosen timeout. It might be too far gone, but it might be too far gone for the Wolverines, but they have a chance for sure to get back in this game. It's not out of reach at all, but they definitely need to work a little harder on the offensive side. They're not giving it to the Penn State Nittany Lions like how they were in the end of that first set. They're kind of laying back and kind of letting Penn State take control, which is not what you want in the least, especially when Penn State is number 15 in the league. So definitely needs to work harder here a little bit.
Yeah, and a really just firm grip on this second set for the Nittany Lions, and they're really showing whether the number 15 team in the country so far. As we are just about set. Penn State's already on the floor.
Yeah, Russ Rose is set the entire time during that timeout.
I think
he's chilling. He's chilling.
He's just hanging out.
Yeah.
42 years.
Yeah, he's like, I've done this
He knows
before.
what's going on.
Yeah. He probably was a beast back in the day of volleyball. He probably could run that floor, really make some good kills when he was younger in his heyday.
All right, let's play some volleyball. Here's Holland to serve for the Nittany Lions as they lead 20-11. Good shot from Holland, played by Murray across. Johnson, Robinson, good dig again from Penn State. It went over to Michigan side, so here's Johnson across to Merzlik, and finally Michigan gets that kill that they've been looking for. Now trail by 8. Serving will be Johnson. She missed her last serve. Can she get some revenge? The sophomore. She's been so good as that setter for the Wolverines.
And
as Coach Lisa Rosen.
Yeah, yelling.
Yeah, she is into this one. Here's Blossom across. Layup, Parker. Grant handles it across to Merzlik.
Oh,
and she
wow.
does it again. Hampton couldn't handle it. And now it's 20-13. We're right back at that little sweet spot. That score, 2013. I like that score for the Wolverines. They came back from that.
Yeah, and
so
the
maybe
power on that hit by Merzlik.
Yeah.
The ball went six rows up into the stands.
That's the type of power we want to see from the sophomore. Here's Johnson. Oh, it just doesn't go over the net. Johnson just left it short, and Penn State will serve once again.
Yep, that's their second service error of the set. At some points, you just kind of got to hit the ball over. Give yourself more of a chance than the service error.
Blossom, handled by Merzlik, up to Johnson. Jones, good spike from the back. That's a touchdown game, 21-14. So Merzlik will serve. Penn State is 4 points away from another set win. Merzlik up to Blossom. Hurd, and she's been so good from that middle, but a good return from Scottie Johnson. Hurd will try it again. Grant, Jones, back to Grant. She'll spike it over. Handled by Hampton, across to Blossom. Here's the spike from Rollins, handled by Merzlik. Johnson, Jones, deflected. Here's Blossom across. Parker tried to hit it, but it was Pertovsky. She's been so good blocking. We saw it in the first set. She does it again. Lead's cut to 6.
What a great
This is what the
block
Wolverines
there,
do. They just wait till the end of the set to get things rolling.
That's not the smartest of tactics, because, hey, if it's working, you just got to do what you got to do.
Here's Here's Merzlik. Handled Robinson, and that was a mistake from Penn State. Robinson couldn't capitalize. Parker up, handled by Jones. Smart play. Johnson, Merzlik from the back, and that deflected. That did deflect, so another Michigan point. They cut the lead to 5, and isn't this just what they do? Awesome from the Wolverines that
poor
fight.
Deflection attempt there by Gabby Blossom. The ball is sailing wide. She did not need to try and tip that ball back into play. Fortunate for Michigan.
Merzlik. Up, Blossom trying to find it. Another mistake from Penn State. Can Michigan capitalize? Blossom, Jones over the net, lands in empty space. And that was a mistake. I don't think Blossom knew where she was trying to go. Trying to set up Rollins, was not there. Leads cut to 4.
massive miscommunication there by the setters on Penn State.
You can see Russ Rose back to the drawing board. Good serve from Merzik. Parker, that's out. Lead's cut to 3.
Yeah.
Wow.
Here we go. I mean, this is now what, a 6-1 run, I believe, for Michigan.
And we're down 21-13.
It's that procrastinator lifestyle. You know, you only do it when you need to. It reminds me of a lot of my homework assignments. Yeah, so it definitely hasn't worked out for them really well this season, playing comeback. But if it works for them in single games, then sure, I'm all for that technique. But you gotta try and keep a lead throughout the entire match against teams that are better than you on paper, you know. So we'll see. 30 seconds left in this timeout by Russ Rose.
So with 30 seconds left in this timeout, and Nabeel, what do you credit this really comeback for Michigan once again? The 6-run run. It's been pretty good. What's the
I think this comeback is partly due to Penn State's lack of ability to shut out this set. They've made uncharacteristic mistakes and a lot of miscommunication, and those little mistakes, those unforced errors, will really hurt you. So that's why I think Michigan's kind of fought their way back into this set. So Michigan's only 7 points away from a second set victory, and you can go on a 7-3 run quite easily. So we'll see if they're able to do so. But Merzik's been done incredibly well on her service.
She's been incredible from that service line, and here she is once again. That one, and not handled by Rollins. Lead is cut to 2. So another ace for the Wolverines to cut it to 2.
That's a fantastic service ace there. That's the second one coming out of Russ Rose timeout.
Yeah, just another miscommunication from this Penn State side. Here's Merzik once again. Finally, this time handled by Rollins. Blossom across, and that was Parker. She hit it out, and the lead is cut to 1. Wow.
Wow, it's pretty incredible to witness this kind of run late in a second set. But here Michigan is.
And here they are, down 1. A chance to tie. Here is Merzik.
Too far,
and that's going to be handled by, that's going to stay in. So now Michigan will set it up. Grant across, Jones deflected. Good job by Parker keeping it alive. Blossom up for Shacker. Now played by Michigan. Here's, wow. And now played again by Michigan. Here's Merzik, a block again, and that one lands out. We are tied. Wow, the ball was going in so many different directions, deflecting off of so many players. And that ball goes out, and Michigan has now tied it.
Yeah, you know, volleyball is kind of crazy. It just it goes in waves. And ever since Lisa Rosen yelled at them, they're back in this game.
Here's Merzik, a chance to take the lead for the Wolverines. Up to Hurd, and it feels like when Michigan ties it, Penn State clamps down, and that was Hurd for the set in the middle, going back to that play that's worked so well.
Yeah, Caitlin Hurd, 6'4", all 6'4" of her frame is used so well in this Penn State front line. She doesn't even jump really off the floor, just kind of easily able to kill it.
Here's the serve from Rollins to Johnson. Up, across, and that one blocked down. Good shot from Pertovsky. Penn State couldn't handle it, and now we are tied.
Yeah, Michigan now jab for jab, going right at Penn State whenever Penn State brings it to them. Now, we'll see if Michigan can close this one out, unlike that first set.
Can Michigan complete the comeback? Here's the serve from Grant. Up, across, her trying to handle it, deflected, and now here's Johnson. Up to Merzik, trying to leave it off. What a play! Oh, Merzik, so smart finding the open space. Then Penn State hits it out, and now Michigan has their lead. 23-22.
Incredible effort by Jenna Hampton. I mean, she ran and actually put a play on that ball, but it just sailed wide, and Michigan now has a lead for the first time in a while.
So here's the serve from Grant. Up to Blossom, across. Parker says, let's calm down, and ties it at 23.
That was a really good misdirection there by the setter on Penn State. The entire Michigan squad thought that they were going on the left side, but she kind of set it backwards. Great play.
Yeah, Gabby Blossom, she's been awesome today. Here's Hampton, deflecting off, handled by Merzick, across. Oh, what a job, Pertosky coming through, and now this crowd waving those pink pom-poms. Have cut the lead to 1.
Yeah, set point for Michigan, first one of the match. And this crowd is now standing up there ready. They want to cheer for their team.
Here we go, Michigan, a chance to tie it at 1. Pertosky to serve. Deflects off of Rollins, and Michigan completes the comeback.
Oh,
wow.
What a play. What a beautiful serve by Pertosky, spinning right onto Rollins' hands as her second miscue on the service side of Penn State. So Michigan gets away with this second set victory. And here we are tied at 1-all going to the 5-minute halftime break. And we'll be taking a 5-minute break here between our coverage. We'll come back in 5 minutes for the resuming of the third set.
So we'll be back in 5 minutes here from WCBN Radio.
Welcome back into the confines of Cliff Keen Arena. We are back with our third set coverage of Michigan women's volleyball. Michigan wins the second set 25-23 after Penn State took the first one 26-24, and Penn State starts now for the third set. And a great kill there by May Pertofsky to start off this third set 1-0. What a play so far. Thank you for tuning in to WCBN coverage of Michigan volleyball. It's been a fun one so far in this third set. And Hannah Grant now serves for the Wolverines. Serves over, Rollins handles it. Now put up in the air by Penn State. Kill attempt there and doesn't go through for Johnny Parker. Great play there by the libero. Jenna Hampton able to get that ball back onto the Michigan Wolverines side. And now Jess Mersey goes for a kill on her own side, and Penn State gets the ball back up in the air. Slips there as Penn State, but gets the ball over to Johnny Parker, and the ball sails wide, and Michigan wins the second point of this third set. It is now 2-0. Great start for these Wolverines. Usually they lose the first couple points in the first two sets, but here they are in the third set making good play so far. And Jenna Hampton handles it for the Penn State Nittany Lions and gets it over to Rollins, and she gets a clean spike there on the Michigan Wolverines side, right at the edge, right at the feet actually of Jess Merzick, and it is now 2-1. In for the Penn State Nittany Lions is Cassie Kirshen, and she is the serving specialist here for the Penn State Nittany Lions. She serves right into the net. There is Cassie, and a little bit of an unfortunate turn of events there for her. And Michigan now has this third point of the third set. May Pertofsky, who won the second set off a mishit by Rollins. Pertofsky now has a chance to get back in this. Pertofsky serves, handled by Hampton. Up there for Horde, and she gets it right down on Michigan. Scottie Johnson couldn't handle it, and now Michigan is only up 3-2. Jenna Hampton serving now for the Penn State Nittany Lions.
So here is the libero on the serve. Hampton handled across. Jones. Good job by Penn State keeping that alive. Parker trying to go across court, and she gets it to go to tie it at 3. So now Penn State will serve once again. And here's Jenna Hampton, the senior. She's been so good on the defense for Penn State. As Grant tried to call out there, Blossom keeps it alive, and look at Paige Jones. Good block from Hampton. Oh, good job. So smart from Pritchard. She just went over the top of the blockers, and now Michigan trails for the first time in the set, down 4-3.
Yeah, first lead for Penn State in this third set. And Penn State's kind of clawed back a little bit into this third set. Paige Jones is tying her shoe. The official is making sure she wasn't stalling for time.
So here's Jenna Hampton once again. Penn State has their first lead. 4-3. If you're just joining us, it's 1-1 in sets. After a crazy Michigan comeback, as that's met at the line. Good job by Johnson keeping that alive. Paige Jones going cross court. Good job from Penn State. That was Pritchard going for that. And then deflecting Grant up across. Oh, what a shot by Bounty. Stayed alive. Penn State. Rollins. Oh, good job by Kendall Murray. Across. Jones with a chance. Deflecting off Rollins. She made the mistake. It was about to go out. Now Rollins will just have to save it. Grant. Johnson. Up. Across. Deflecting. And Bonnie wins it for the Wolverines. You can tell the crowd, the energy in this stadium. After that, Michigan ties it at 4.
Yeah, things feeling a lot different here for the Wolverines.
They can just keep this at an even game throughout the set. You never know what they can do at the end.
Yeah.
because they've had 2 comebacks so far after being down at least 8 points in both sets. Jones across. Oh, good job. So smart from Erica Pritchard. She's got such high velo on those kills to give Penn State a 5-4 lead.
Ever since the second set, there's been a little bit of miscommunication consistently on the Penn State side. Not sure what it is. On that last point, it looked like Rollins and Jenna Hampton kind of collided a little bit into each other. So not sure what's going on there, but we'll see how that pans out.
So Quinn Menger was the server. She hasn't been in all game as Grant plays it across. Johnson, kill! Oh, what a job from Jones. You can tell after every point, the crowd's just a little more livelier right now. They feel like they have a chance to win.
Yeah.
And that was not the case in that second set. It felt like Michigan was on the brink of just going home and quitting. They're right back in it.
And it makes such a difference when you can get some unforced errors on the other team. It kind of gives you confidence that you're doing something right.
Here it is, across. Good job by Allie Holland across on that left side. A little misdirection, and it works for Penn State.
Great job trying to get a block there for Michigan. Just couldn't get the ball back up into play. It was just Merzick.
Penn State up 2.
Again.
Yep, here we go. Once again. Johnson across. Good job by Robinson. Kept alive by Hampton. I've said that many times today as Rollins and a double hit from Murray. And it's just the hustle plays from really Jenna Hampton. It just goes unnoticed for this Penn State squad. But she's the glue at the libero position. She's been so good.
Yeah, and it's something that every libero strives to be, is like her. Someone who can really make a difference for your team.
So here's Johnson up to Jones. Handled Hampton, hustling for it. And look at that effort. Even though she couldn't get there, the effort from Jenna Hampton on full display here in this third set. Michigan, nonetheless, cuts the lead to 1.
Yeah, and she ran into that siding real hard, but thank goodness it's padded.
Here's Scottie Johnson. Johnson hits it over, handled by Rollins. Up, Rollins, give and go, no. Holland, Blossom, trying to get a little misdirection going. Robinson trying to go for the spike, and a good job. Allie Holland, really good point from her. She was active, and she gets the block there to increase the lead for Penn State up to 8-6.
Yeah, Jess Robinson has not had a great game on the kill side of things. She's been getting blocked or missing shots quite a bit of the time, which is not often the case for Jess Robinson.
Holland, oh, that's just a miscommunication. Just a mishit from the Wolverines, and now it's 9-6 Penn State. Here's Holland once again. Handled, Merzick, Johnson, Robinson finally connects to cut the lead to 2.
Yeah, and here Michigan is trying to keep up with the score, trying not to get down in a big hole like last time. 7-9, so trying to see what they can do.
Merzick up and across. The slam. Wow, Parker really put mustard on that one as Grant was diving towards really the corner of the gym by the door in the Gatorade place. And wow, Parker just really has a lot of mustard on that serve, or on that kill. (10-7) Penn State. Here's a good dig from Merzick. Up, across, Jones for the kill. Blocked. Michigan will reset. Back up to Jones. Jones. Good shot now, Blossom. Across, Rollins. Great cross-court kill for Adana Rollins. Wow. 7-11.
There it is.
Your
finally.
score.
Slurpee time. It's hot in here. You know there's no AC in this building.
Yeah, it's getting hot.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's
here.
cold outside, but it's hot up in here.
So here's the dig from Grant across to Johnson here. Oh, good try from Pertovsky. Going cross court, just lands about an inch or two out. And now the lead's cut to 12-7, up to 12-7, and a timeout again from Coach Mark Rosen.
Yeah, I mean, he knows when to take his timeouts, and I should never, ever, ever judge when he does so ever again. Last time he took it at 20-11 when I thought the set was completely over, and they ended up winning the next 15 out of the next 18 points. So he obviously does something right in these timeouts. I think it settles them down a little bit. It kind of gives them momentum going into the next few points. So we'll see what Michigan can do coming out of this timeout.
This is kind of that same trend we were discussing. Penn State taking that early lead and then Michigan coming back. And they did it. They completed that comeback in the second set. Can they do it in the third? The pivotal third set is really interesting for the Wolverines. You're down 12-7. No need to panic. And at this point, you look and maybe you're comfortable from playing down, but at some point, Penn State is not going to make as many miscues as they did at the end of the second set. So I think Michigan really's got to cut this little run from Penn State.
That pink on the floor is really vibrant. It's a little bit too much. It's kind of hurting my eyes a little bit.
Here's the serve from Penn State. That was Blossom up to Pertovsky, handled by Rollins. Blossom back to Rollins. Her slip blocked away. Jess Robinson and Pertovsky. How many times have I said Pertovsky blocking these shots?
Yeah, great block there.
So here's Grant. Hannah Grant will serve. Good serve, handled by Hampton, across, and that's the spot, and that one just out from her. She wanted to attack that spot in the middle. Feels like every time Penn State needs a point, they go right back to her in the middle. This time she just misses, just a little wide.
Yeah, and it looked close to a tip, but the referees did not see it.
Here's Grant.
Oh,
yeah, that's
beautiful.
gonna land in. Yeah, great serve from Hannah Grant. Unbelievable. Leads cut to 2, and this is what you wanted to see from Michigan. Cut this lead a little bit, keep it close in this third set, and instead of going down 8 or 9 points. Grant, serve, handled. But that time, a mistake from Stark and handled by Bounty.
You know, they get so hype after plays like that, and they just yell in each other's face. That's a lot of yelling. They yell a lot on that floor.
Lead is cut to 1. Kind of a earlier comeback for the Wolverines in this set. Good serve from Grant. Blossom up. Rollins just in. Wow. And Donna Rollins, how do you do?
That's one part of her game that's absolutely incredible. Her kills and her smashes are real strong. Now, her sets and her digs and stuff are not the greatest, but that's the reason she's in, is for her kills.
Yep. Here is Merzlik across. Thompson. Jones trying to put some mustard on that one. Blossom this time back to Hurd, and that's worked all night long, attacking from the middle of that M in the middle of the court, and Michigan now trails by 3.
Yeah, and a massive point in this third set, 11-14, right in the middle of this third set, and a big
Rollins,
point here.
Deep, Merzlik, back to Merzlik, the slam. Rollins handles that dig just fine. Grant, back across, handled. Oh, that's just in. Great shot from Pertovsky. That just landed on the line and cut the lead to 2.
It looked really close, but the official's right there. I can say as much as I want how in or out that ball is, but I can't say anything compared to what the refs see. But May Pertovsky, one of the best servers this game so far.
And here she is, the junior. Good serve again. Back across, Parker deflected, handled by Pertovsky. Across to Jones. Good handle by Rollins. Blossom across to Pritchard. Grant digs it. Across, 1-2.
Oh, what a
Landing. Merzlik with the spike from the back, and it lands on the court, and Michigan has cut the lead to 1.
Yeah, what a strong hit there by Merzlik. It went through, basically, went through the hands of the defenders trying to block it.
This is the most highly contested set so far. It's 1 apiece, but this set feels like there's a little bit more at stake. Good serve from Pertovsky across, handled. Oh, great job. Trying to keep it alive.
Yeah.
Oh, what a job. And Grant will keep it alive for the Wolverines. Penn State will reset. That time, oh, Parker missed it. What hustle. That the ball hit off the ceiling.
Yeah.
And chasing it was Pertovsky. She got it over to Grant, and Grant hit it over, and then let Penn State make the mistake. We got a tie ball game.
Yeah, and the fact that it hit the ceiling, the ball was spinning away, and when it hit the ceiling, it kind of spin back into play. So the Cliff Keen really coming in handy here.
The home court advantage. Good serve from Pertovsky once again. Blossom across. That's going to be, they got out of bounds. It was just a miscue from Penn State. Yeah, double hit. So Michigan's got a lead, 15-14. This is the latest they've had a lead since 23 apiece.
Yeah, 4 straight points off of May Pertovsky's serve. And she's on a run of her own here. She has a really great serve. Kind of just spirals right down in the middle part of the court.
It's like she knows it's going to go in, but she puts so much mustard on that one. Wow. Hampton across. She's feeling it now. Oh, that's just in.
Oh,
wow.
That was close.
That was really close. And what a shot from Pritchard.
And Michigan bench says it's in. Mark Rosen chooses not to challenge.
No challenge. So no challenge from Coach Mark Rosen. Tied at 15. Here is Hampton. She takes her time. Crowd silences. Hampton just far.
Really
Michigan.
Poor serve. Really poor serve there by Hampton. Uncharacteristic of her this evening.
Yeah, she's been sensational all game long. Michigan's got a lead once again. 16-15. 9 points away from taking a 2-1 lead. Good serve from Jones. Handled by Penn State. Up across, and that's going to be net. Oh, wow. That's going to be a net on Michigan. Rosen does not like it. What did you see, Nabeel?
I did not see a net violation. What I could have seen was a little bit of a double hit action, but they do call it a net violation. And I don't believe net violations are reviewable, honestly.
No.
They might be, but Mark Rosen just might not want to. He probably just wants to yell at him anyways.
Yep. Good job by, oh, good serve. Trying to sneak it by Murray. Murray's had a couple of those mistakes where she just doesn't get it to the center, and Johnson really well really put it on the mark for her, and that one too far out of reach. And now it is back for a Penn State lead, up 17-16. Games tied 1 apiece, or sets, excuse me. Murray puts it on the money this time. Johnson, Jones, oh, what a job. Paige Jones, that's a senior mentality right there, finding the open space, and then it deflects off a couple of Penn State players and lands out. So Michigan gets the point to tie the game at 17.
Yeah, real back and forth here, consistently.
The closest set of this match. Here's Humphrey, the serving specialist.
We have the crew on the floor wiping the floor down.
As you can see, associate head coach Lisa Rosen, wife of Mark Rosen, really all over that floor. She's so into this. Humphrey, good serve. Up and
nice
put away by Scottie Johnson. Heads up play from the center. So Michigan regains their 1-point lead. Here's Brooke Humphrey.
Great play by Scottie Johnson. Ball just kind of getting back right over.
Humphrey. Blossom across. Pritchard deflects. Michigan keeps it alive. Johnson up. Oh, Merzlik just hit it out. It was just out. A good effort trying to go cross court doesn't work.
Yeah, and she wanted that one really badly.
Yeah, yes she did. And now it is 18 apiece. Serving is Pritchard. The vet for this Penn State team. Johnson across. Robinson loves that.
Oh, that's in.
And that's going to stay in. So don't call it over yet. And set up beautifully for Rollins. Now Michigan trying to regain it back. Jones back to Johnson. Back again to Jones. Good dig again. Robinson going up for it. What a block from the Nittany Lions. A point that seemingly went Michigan's way after hitting the back by the All-American signs of Aaron Moore, the former Wolverine. It deflected back into play, and Penn State got a huge point to take the lead.
It's kind of like playing racquetball. You know, when the ball just kind of flies all over and hits all the walls and stuff, you don't know where it's going to go. That was crazy. I've never seen a ball hit that side. And the ball kind of flies back into play. Great awareness, though, by Penn State. And they have another lead.
Oh, that's a mistake from Michigan as it was hit over by the defender. Now up for Jones, and that's just far for her. And now it is 20-18. Penn State's got a 2-point lead. Timeout, Coach Mark Rosen.
Well, if we were playing this game in Chrysler, Michigan would have won that 1 point for sure. That ball off the hands of Jess Robinson would have flown into the stands. But here we are in Cliff Keene, and there are walls all around this place. Ceiling's quite low. There is the All-American banner wall, which put that ball back into play. And so here we are, 18-20, very late in this third set, very close between the two squads here on the floor. And, you know, they've done really well. Both teams have stayed in this. Penn State definitely having a lot of resiliency to come back from a set where you let the other team score 15 out of the last 18 points. So Michigan definitely playing really hard and trying to win this set.
They are, and it's a testament to this Michigan coaching staff. They know when to call those timeouts, as you mentioned. And now this is the point. Instead of down 8, you're down 2. That's got to be a positive for the Wolverines. You were down 21-13 in that second set, down 20-13 in that first. So this is where you kind of want to be if you're the Wolverines with your success coming back. Here's the serve, played by Johnson. Up to Jones, blocked and out of bounds. So Penn State gets another, up 21-18, 4 points away from taking a pivotal 2-1 lead here in this third set. Here we go. Good serve. Pritchard does her job. Deflected off a Michigan player into the zone. There's a little student section on the floor. And it is 22-18.
What a timely service ace there.
Pritchard's been money. Murray trying to dig it. And another mistake from the Wolverines. They just can't handle this serve. They cannot handle it from Pritchard. And now Penn State's got a 5-point lead with 2 points to go before winning this pivotal third set. Michigan fans are silenced right now. Up to Johnson, across Jones, so smart, but kept alive by Hampton. Murray, Johnson, across Jones again, finally connects off of Pritchard, but you can see you love the Penn State fight. Hampton's been money all game long.
Tricky.
Here's Lexi. Here's Scottie Johnson. Across. Oh, good job. It deflected off Jess Robinson. And now Penn State is 1 point away from gaining a 2-1 lead. 24-19. Michigan trails by 5. Can one of their comebacks come through again?
And there's
Here's
no
Allie Holland.
error at all.
Johnson across. Merzlik. Penn State 2-1 lead. Merzlik hit it into the net. And now we'll go to set number 4 as Penn State's got a 2-1 lead.
Great play by Penn State to dig deep and win that third set. Now Penn State only 1 set away from winning this game.
As
And
it's
we
been
have quite. I do believe it's only a 3-minute break between sets 3 and 4. It might only even be a timeout. I'm not sure. Oh, 3 minutes. Never mind. 3 minutes.
Yeah, so we got a 3-minute break. Let's discuss what we've seen so far. It's been a fun one through these first 3 games. Maybe not close throughout the set, but at the end of these sets, it's been very close.
Yep.
For all of these games. Michigan just came up short there as they trail 2-1 in games. What can Michigan do to really come back in this match?
Michigan played really well in that third set. They didn't back down. They knew they had it in them to win this third set, but unfortunately they just kind of lost whatever effort they had in those last 6 points. Penn State kind of just took control and was easily able to make it. So Michigan has to keep that mentality and keep that level of enthusiasm throughout the entire set, you know. So as you get later into games, teams start to get a little fatigued and tired. This Michigan team can definitely last 5 sets. They've done so before. So we'll see what they can do coming up in this 4th set.
Yeah, and it's really been interesting to see how these two coaches, these two veteran coaches, Russ Rose, Mark Rosen, Rosen in his 23rd year, Rose in his 42nd year, how they've really adjusted to each other and the strategies and the game plans and where to put these different plays and what to really call when your team needs something. You've seen for Coach Russ Rose, he's really called Caitlin Hurd's number in the middle.
When they've really needed a point, and for Michigan, they've called Pertovsky's number when they've really needed something. So the differences in how both of these coaches have attacked each other has been very interesting.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like they're going to give out free Pizza House to the fans. That sounds really good right now.
Wow.
Or that may be for the team.
Yeah, I don't know if it's for the fans. It's going right into that locker room.
Why would they walk it through all the fans? That's just going to make you hungry. They should just walk it through the back door.
Interesting.
Now
I guess
I
that's
want
how
Pizza House.
Yeah, I guess that's how the arena is set up. We are
Yeah.
just about ready to go in about 30 seconds to this 4th set. Michigan trailing 2-1 if you're just joining us. Michigan in that first set trailed big 20-13. Penn State roared back. Michigan roared back, tied it at 23, tied it at 24. Then Penn State got the 2 points they needed to take a 26-24 victory in set number 1. In set number 2, Michigan trailed big, down 16-8, 14-7, eventually 21-13 before coming back in that set and actually winning it 25-23 in that second set. And then in the third set, it was close throughout until the end. And really, Erica Pritchard's serving for this Nittany Lion team gave him a 25-19 advantage in the third set. So here we go, set number 4. Can Michigan get some energy and come back in this one?
Anything can happen in 5 sets. That's always the motto that everyone should play volleyball with. So this 4th set is pivotal for these Wolverines in terms of the season itself.
Here we go. Pertovsky left it up, and Jess Robinson capitalizing on a Penn State mistake to take an early 1-0 lead. Merzik. Blossom across. Rollins blocked, but out.
That's a strong block there.
Yeah. Way strong by the Penn State players in that right corner. So now we are tied at 1. Rollins. Played by Merzik, up to Johnson, across to Jones. Handled by Penn State and Hampton. She's been so good. Parker trying to go for that one. Pritchard, and that one deflects off the net
and back on her side. So Michigan has a 2-1 lead. Earlier to start this set. Here's Hannah Grant, the libero of this team. She's young, the redshirt sophomore.
From my hometown, Northville High School.
Northville. Here we go, Blossom across, Purge, she's been so good. That middle area, money. Tied at 2.
So far, back and forth for both of these teams in this fourth set.
Here's Hampton. Grant playing it a little too far for Johnson and too easy for Holland to put away. It was just not a really great return from the Wolverines. They pretty much struggled with that all game long, and that was really evident in that the end of that third set. Michigan just couldn't return these serves.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of been a problem all season long for these Wolverines.
Finally, that one is returned. Johnson across. Pertovsky. Now Blossom has it.
Oh.
Fighting for it was Hampton, and Michigan's going to get a point. Miscommunication once again, and Michigan ties it at 3.
Yeah, that's a missed jump there. Great effort, though, by Allie Holland.
Here's Pertovsky, handled by Hampton. Across, Blossom, Pritchard. Oh, what a save by Blossom. She'll set it up, and Penn State with Pritchard. What a save. Blossom ran all the way back for that one to give Penn State a 4-3 advantage. Those hustle plays evident on both sides today. That was a really good job from Penn State.
And you have to wonder what Penn State is feeding off of, because this crowd is quite pro-Michigan. They're feeding off of each other over here, especially on the bench. They're really into every single point.
Here's Grant, another just not great set, or great return, and that's setting up Rollins. And here's finally a good one. Oh, that's a great job, Merzik. And that's the evidence. If they can just set up the Johnson with a good shot on these defenses, they got a good shot to really put together a point. They've been pretty solid on these kills.
Yeah, no, for sure. I totally agree. They've done incredibly well on the offensive side, but they just got to have the defense correlate with how they're playing offensively.
The Wolverines are tied at 4 right now, and that was Pritchard once again deflecting off a blocker and winning that point to give Penn State a 5-4 lead. Here's Fisher. Pritchard. Dug out. Johnson. Jones.
Oh, what a play.
Misdirection. Paige Jones loves it. Michigan ties it at 5.
That's just Brooke Humphrey coming in.
Here's Humphrey. This is her spot. Blossom. Across. Rollins. Slam.
What a play by Rollins. Definitely the best part of her game. I don't even watch her that often, but definitely the best part of her game.
So good from that left side. Penn State up 6-5. Here's Holland. Low, and Murray's just struggled all game long with that. She cannot play defense on these serves.
Yeah, she's had a tough go so far this evening. Usually actually one of Michigan's better receivers. Just maybe a tough game so far.
Handled by Grant. Up to Jones. Deflects up Merzlik. Deflects. Blossom across. Rollins again. Deflects again. Michigan will set everything up. Robinson blocked. Trying to go for that sneak attack in the middle. Up to Merzlik. Across court. Great shot from Merzlik. Went cross court. And now Michigan cuts the lead to 1.
Great play by Merzik. She's done a lot of cross-court kills this evening. I'm not sure if that's what she's feeling tonight, but it's worked for her.
Here's Johnson, the serve, Blossom across. Oh, she's been money whored again from that middle. No defense on that. I'd love to see her percentage in the middle of the floor. I mean, it's been unbelievable tonight. They've gotten Michigan on multiple occasions.
That would actually be a really fun stat, maybe.
Well, next-gen stats, volleyball style. Her trying to go for it again, and it deflects off, and Michigan will win that. As it deflected off her and bounced on her side.
Mark Rosen's trying to get any call he can get, but nothing's really working for him so far. Well,
so that actually went, that actually went Penn State's way.
Yeah.
So they lead 9-6. Up to Johnson, across Murray. There she is on that slam on that left side. Leads up to down to 2 as she went cross court, and that's really worked for the Wolverines. They're really trying to get it away from the libero Hampton. They're trying to attack both sides of this defense and not her. Here's Merzick, takes a deep breath. Good serve, handled by Penn State. Blossom across, Rollins, net, and that is gonna go Penn State's way. She hit the net. I think the Michigan play, I think that was Jones who hit it, and now Penn State leads 10-7. Here's Rollins. Good serve, handled by Merzick. Across, good slam, but handled. Bertovsky was the slammer. Now reset. Let's go again. Merzick blocked, but out. So Michigan wins that. Anna Grant, good serve, handled by Blossom, across. Pritchard, good block by Merzick, up, across. Oh, good shot by Bounty, handled by Rollins. Up and good slam, wow. That was Pritchard, and she threaded the needle on that sideline.
And here comes all reliable Jenna Hampton.
The libero, the stud for this Penn State team, at least tonight. Johnson across. Good shot by Bertovsky. She went cross court again, so that's been the formula for Michigan. That spike cross court is what they want to attack.
A lot of bounces.
Good serve by Bertovsky. Blossom trying to go over the top of Pritchard, and it works. So they've really capitalized on trying to get these blockers out of position for the Nittany Lions. They've kind of attacked these blockers in a way.
Yeah. Michigan might need someone to just sit back behind the blockers.
Yeah.
Because they've done that a couple times this evening. So, especially in this set, they've done it twice now, I believe. So, kind of got to prepare.
Here's the serve. It's low from the Nittany Lion. And that one handled by Hampton. That was Parker trying to handle that one. Now Michigan will reset. Merzick with the spike. That's blocked away. Here is Herb Jones. No. And now, what a shot. That was Holland. Wow. She put that in the corner and really caught Michigan off guard. They lead 13-9.
Yeah, that's nice play right there. That's really tough to make, but she did that beautifully.
So here's Parker once again, handled by Murray. Johnson across, side. Oh, what a shot from Bounty. Now Rollins tries to go for it, just goes high and far, and now Michigan wins that, cuts the lead to 3.
Great play
Here's
by
Paige
Bonnie.
Jones.
Wonderful, wonderful play. Bonnie was able to get that ball right down on Penn State, and they were kind of out of sync with how they couldn't get the ball as cleanly off that reception.
Here is Paige Jones. big moment for her, trying to get to the NCAA tournament. This win would help,
nice
as that
play.
is a nice block from the Wolverines. That was Scottie Johnson. Lead is cut to 2.
Yeah, the duo of Scottie Johnson and Jackie Bonnie, not something you'd expect at the blocking end, but worked incredibly well.
Here's the hit from Jones across. Blossom, layup from Holland, handled by Michigan. Back up for Merzlik. That's handled by Penn State. Blossom setting it up. Parker.
Oh,
Wow.
Wow, what a play. Penn State had a wide open field on Michigan's side. Merzlik and Paige Jones were on opposite sides of the backcourt.
Parker with a move, finding the open space, giving Penn State a 3-point lead. Here's Pritchard setting it up. Across for Merzlik, handled by Penn State. Blossom up for Rollins, trying to get Michigan a little offside on that one. Merzlik,
wow.
oh, what a block from Holland. She read the spike. Merzlik couldn't counter, and Holland gets the point for the Nittany Lions. Timeout, Mark Rosen. The Wolverines trail by 4. Penn State 10 points away, up 15-11, and it's been back and forth in this fourth set. What have you seen from Penn State to really put them over the edge?
Yeah, Penn State's playing really good offense, not letting those unforced errors happen. They're doing incredibly well here. Oh, this is Let's Groove Tonight. This song is fantastic.
I love it. We got the dancing in the booth. It's been fun.
Yeah, but no, Penn State's done really well this fourth set. They've taken it to Michigan, and Michigan has been unable to handle any of the offense, any of the defense on their own side. So currently, Penn State is leading only by 4 though. They've been up by more, but the momentum feels like it's on Penn State's side right now in this fourth set.
Yeah, it does, and it's a testament to how Hampton and these players have hustled. They're getting the blocks, and they just seem like maybe they're a class better than the Wolverines at this point. And it's really come down to defense. I think the defense of Penn State has done so well compared to the defense of Michigan. I think that's where the clear battle lied in this game and this match, and that's where the advantage has come with Penn State. Here's the serve from Pritchard. Handled by Michigan. Up for Bounty. Blossom across. Rollins. Blocked. Great block from Scottie Johnson once again.
Yeah, Scottie Johnson and Jackie Bonnie teaming up again. Jackie Bonnie, on kind of an unsung hero, doesn't play a ton of points, but when she comes in, she makes things worth it.
Here's Brooke Humphrey. A chance to cut the lead to 2. Humphrey, good serve on the edge. Slam, Robinson. Miscue from Penn State, handled from Jess Robinson. Lead's cut to 2. Here we go. Humphrey.
Oh,
good
great
serve. Blossom across. Holland. Oh, good shot. I mean, I love Allie Holland's game.
Yeah.
She doesn't hit the ball the hardest, but she finds the open spaces in this defense and get those blocks. She really gets those hustle plays for Penn State. Leads at 3 for the Nittany Lions. Here's Holland. Good serve. Oh, that's going to be a miscue, but handled. Good block from Scottie Johnson. Penn State will reset it up. Rollins, good play by Grant. Johnson back to Merzlik. That one, oh, good job by Merzlik. That caught Parker off guard. And now that another point for the Wolverines. Leads cut to 2.
Yeah, great play by Merzlik. Unreal the way she's able to kind of change the pace of her kills Sometimes she really goes for it, and that time it wasn't as much of a strong kill, but a really well-placed one.
Here's Scottie Johnson. Chance to cut to 1. Good serve. That's an ace. That just died on the floor.
Yeah. Service ace. At a great time, too. Lead cut down to 1 here. Big fourth set. Big fourth set.
Oh, yeah. Michigan, a chance to tie. Down 1. Scottie Johnson, good serve. Handled by Penn State, up across. Rollins, handled by Michigan. Up to Robinson, that's out. Robinson, a little miscue.
And Mark Rosen wanted that one. He knew that she kind of left a little too early off her feet, and that's the reason that she kind of airmailed that kill.
Good serve from Blossom. Across, Johnson, Jones blocked. Parker with the block.
Right back down on Paige Jones. Had no chance at recovery. And Penn State's only 7 points away now.
18-15. Blossom the serve, handled by Merzick. Up, Johnson, back to Merzlik. Oh, good save by Penn State. That was Strack. Here's Johnson. Up to Jones, trying to thread the needle. Good save by Hurd. Back to Parker, saved by Jones. Grant, up. Murray, slam.
Nice play. Kendall Murray kind of hung in the air there and like waited for her opportunity. Great play. And May Prodowski comes in, meaning she's going to serve soon, so.
Merzick, trying to cut it to 1. Here we go. Nice serve. Strack. Oh, good job, Hurd in the middle. Money.
What a play by 6'4", Caitlin Hurd.
Caitlin Hurd, the senior from Lexington, Kentucky. Robinson, oh, good serve. And that hit the net. That hit the net. Or it hit the ground, excuse me. I think it hit the ground initially, not the net.
Yeah, the serve did hit the floor before it being put back in the air by Hannah Grant.
So here's Rollins again. Handled by Merzick. Johnson up. Pertoski, and that was blocked. Wow. Pritchard, Hurd there for the block. And they lead 21-16, 4 points away for the Nittany Lions. Timeout, Mark Rosen. And now the tables have turned. Michigan was inching closer. Penn State leveled the run and now has a 5-point lead.
Yeah, and you know, Penn State really has their claws in Michigan right now. They just want to finish it off. And you know, and when you get to this point, you definitely don't want to get to a 5th set because then you're tired. You've played an entire really strong 4 sets here by Penn State, only really struggling in that 2nd set. So Michigan has to find a way to crawl back in this. They've got to get some unforced errors on the Penn State side and really play some strong offense. But so far, things are looking a little bit bleak now for Michigan, but it does not mean that they should be counted out. I've counted them out before twice now, and they've proven me wrong already, so we shall see.
And we shall see is correct. A reminder, so many broadcasts this weekend, it feels like. I know, Nabeel, you're on tomorrow night with the volleyball. I'll be on the women's basketball. We got football, Penn State, Michigan tomorrow live. We got a crew there.
Yep.
Should be a lot of fun. Michigan, Penn State, so all the games in action right before Thanksgiving break. As all the teams are trying to end strong. I know volleyball, that's their attempt. Here, it's been a long season, disappointing at times, but right now they're in it with a number 15 team in the country at home. 4 points away for Penn State. Rollins, mistake. Hurd takes care of that.
Play. Hurd really took care of that. There was no way any Michigan player would have gotten that.
And off the timeout, that's not what you want to see. Here's Rollins. Handled by Grant. Johnson up. Jones. Oh, what
Oh,
a
wow.
oh, Hampton. Blossom across. Parker just out. Oh, I mean, Hampton's diving all over the
Yeah.
floor. Unbelievable play from her. And she's so confident.
Yeah, she's putting it all on the floor here in her senior year. Only 5'7", but making every inch count.
Yes, she is. Grant. Up, across, Parker, handled. Johnson, up, Merzlick. Yes. So Michigan inches closer. Now it's 4.
Yeah.
That's what they've done all game long. All match.
Yeah, little room for error here on Hannah Grant's serve. Got to make every single point count here.
Here's Grant. Good serve.
Oh.
Penn State. Oh, that's a mistake.
Yeah.
Pritchard did not put that right over the net on the left side and way out. That's just a free point. So Michigan now at 3. They trail. Timeout, Nittany Lions. The first time we've seen Russ Rose rise today, it feels like.
No.
He's up and at him.
No, he wants to get out of here with a win.
Yeah, he does, and he knows Penn State's the better squad, in his opinion. And I tend to agree, as we've sat here for about 3 7/8 of a set. And they want to get out of here with a win. They'll move on. They play Michigan State tomorrow night, which should be fun from East Lansing on their little Michigan trip this weekend, as games are played Friday, Saturday. Much easier for road teams to do that. And right now, Michigan trying to get some momentum before coming home tomorrow night for some home cooking once again against Rutgers, which should be another fun one.
Yeah, Michigan should win that game. It's going to be a close match, as almost all Michigan Big Ten games have been. But Rutgers are coming in at 8-17, and Michigan is a better team than Rutgers. So, but you know, any Big Ten match is going to be a close one here.
Then they go to Purdue, then to Michigan State, then they host Illinois and Northwestern to end the year. So trying to make their case before December 2nd, the first round of the NCAA tournament. And this win tonight would go a long way. It wouldn't look too good for the Wolverines. Here's Grant. Leads at 3. Handled by Hampton. Across. Parker just out.
Oh, really close. Really close. The official's right there, so she has a great view. But
so here we go. 2-point game. Grant will serve. That's a good one, too. Up, across. Hurd does her job. Caitlin Horde. Unbelievable from that middle spot. Seems like every time they need a point, they go back to that. And now it's a 3-point game.
23rd point for Penn State this 4th set from number 23. You know, at this point, Michigan needs to hope for a nice
Handled
point.
by Merzick. Up across. Pertowski blocked away from by Penn State. Grant up. Jones. This time, great block by Holland. She's been so good on defense. So is Jenna Hampton. She's got a chance to end this match right here. Set point.
Match point.
Match point. Grant. Johnson across. Handled by Rollins. Blossom, a chance. Pritchard blocked. Here's Blossom across again. Holland. Grant trying to save it. Johnson up for Jones. Yes, he connects. Here we go again. Hampton. Oh, that's just out. Pritchard tried to thread the needle. Michigan cuts in the lead, down 3.
Yeah, that was a really poor attempt there by Pritchard. I'm not sure why she would attempt that shot, but now May Pritowski needs to get 5 straight serves, to win this 4th set.
She's been money from serving, so I think this is the player you want serving right now. Pertowski, great serve. Just as I say that. What a serve. Crowd on its feet now. It's a great ace and a big time moment. Your player comes through in the clutch. No margin for error here. 2 points to tie it at 24. 4 to win it. Only one for Penn State. Pertowski, good serve, handled. Blossom, across. Pritchard, kept alive by Michigan. Across, Paige Jones. Here's Rollins. Blossom, up, Pritchard. Oh, what a handle. Oh, wow, that's blocked at the net. Michigan keeps it alive. Grant, up, Paige Jones. Slam!
Oh, blocked at the
Wow.
net. Beautiful play there by Michigan. Paige Jones.
The key on that play, Scottie Johnson at the net. So good at handling that block, resetting things, getting it back to Grant, then Paige Jones, and then keeping that point alive, then force Penn State into the error. Michigan, down 1. It's 24-23. It's getting good now.
It's honestly, Michigan really just turns on these last like 10 points of every set. It's unreal how they're able to just really fight back. The resiliency is incredible. Now, Michigan needs to work really hard. Michigan has the ball coming out of the timeout. Russ Rose takes a timeout to try to calm down his Penn State squad. Now, 23-24. May Pertowski needs to get a good serve in, needs to get the ball in is the most important thing. It doesn't matter what kind of serve, the ball has to go in first.
It does.
So, and then Michigan has to play some great defense. And hopefully, if it's a good serve, it'll make it easier to play that defense. But it's a big, big, big point here. Honestly, the biggest of the match. It is the biggest point of the match. So, a lot is on May Pertowski's shoulders right now.
Tension in this building heightens. Michigan down 2-1 in set. They were down 24-19. They've roared back to 24-23. Behind May Pertowski's serves. She's been money all game long. Can she be money again? Here we go.
And the officials actually call a net violation.
Oh, wow.
On Michigan on that last point, and the point is Penn State's, meaning Penn State wins the match.
That was abrupt.
Yeah, massively abrupt. I did not even realize we were in a review. I thought Russ Rose took a timeout. However, they did review it, and there was a net violation on Jackie Bonney. I believe it was Jackie Bonney at the net. So massively unfortunate end to this one. It was going to be a fun one.
It's just as I say, it was getting good now. Michigan falls 3-1 in sets to Penn State, just like their last meeting. And a tough one for Michigan and their volleyball team to swallow. They were close. They came back a bunch, but ultimately Penn State proved to be the stronger side here on the road. Penn State will travel to Michigan State. Michigan, Rutgers, same time tomorrow night.
Yeah, pretty excited. Should be really fun. Really unfortunate, sad loss here for Michigan. It's not something you like to see, but you know, it happens from time to time where calls don't go your way, and reviews especially, that can happen. So it was a good one here. I'm glad I called it with you. It was probably one of the more fun ones I've done.
Yeah.
So
a lot of fun. So Michigan falls short. We got a bunch of broadcasts coming up. Stay tuned for that. We got 12 p.m. Penn State, Michigan. I got my women's basketball game tomorrow too, and Nabeel will be on the call same time tomorrow night for Rutgers and Michigan. So for me, Nabeel Baig, and the entire WCBN crew, thank you for listening, and have a good night, and go Blue.